Hi, everyone. This is Shawn Duhamel from the Mass Retirees Association coming to you midday on Thursday. I'm joined this afternoon, very special guest, very dear friend of ours, U.S. Senator Ed Markey from here in Massachusetts. A little bit of background, Senator. As you know, we've been working together on the issue of WEP and GPO for decades. You have been a leader on this issue. You know that mass retirees, we represent over 50,000 retired Massachusetts public employees from all across the Commonwealth. Tens of thousands of our members, 130,000 Massachusetts residents are affected by WEP and GPO. Our hope is that when the Senate acts later today on this issue, it's a historic vote to finally bring relief to these retirees, many of whom have given up hope over the years that this day would never come. But due to your leadership and the leadership of Senator Warren, we're very proud of both of you. We've gotten to this point. Can you give a little bit of I guess, context to where we are, what's happened in the Senate this week, the historic vote that occurred yesterday for cloture, that we got 73 votes in favor of cloture, which is unbelievable. And it's due to the collective leadership of Senate leaders like yourself, as well as the activists all across the country to get it to this point.
Well, Shawn, thank you for all of the great work you have done and all the retirees up in Massachusetts. And as you're saying, I was proud to join my colleagues in voting to advance the Social Security Fairness Act to restore benefits for nearly 3 million Americans. And that includes 130,000 retirees in Massachusetts alone who are going to be dependent upon this bill passing. As you said, the Senate invoked cloture to proceed to the bill, and we are now negotiating on when to have a final vote. And I voted no when this law was put on the books decades ago. I was in the United States House of Representatives, and it passed with Democratic support, unfortunately, but I voted no. I voted no. It was just wrong what was happening. So I look forward to voting yes on the Social Security Fairness Act, and yes on justice for working people, and yes on dignity for retirees. And we're going to be meeting the Democratic senators to try to figure out what the methodology we're going to use to get to the final vote. But we're committed to doing it, and we do have substantial Republican senatorial support as well. So that's going to be an historic day, and I'll be celebrating on the floor of the Senate. And I know there'll be people all across Massachusetts and the country who will be celebrating in their living rooms all across our nation.
Senator, I know you frequently hear from your constituents and our members, of the hardship that so many retirees are facing because of these two very unfair, very unjust laws. Can you talk just a little bit about, from the conversations you have had with constituents, just how much this means to retirees?
Yeah, absolutely. People, obviously earned a pension, but they earned Social Security as well. And I have firefighters, teachers, others just stop me and just tell me what this additional check would mean for them and what they can do for their families. And I heard it all over this past weekend when I was up in Massachusetts. I heard it in Melrose, I heard it in Malden, I heard it in Boston. People just coming over to me with their own personal stories about what this funding, what this money would mean for them. My father was a union leader. He was a union vice president, and he always used to say to me, you can't beg for your rights. You have to organize, you have to take them. And that's exactly what you have done here. It's been an honor to fight alongside all the public servants and their unions to repeal the windfall, elimination, provision offset, and the government pension offset. Vote represents a triumph of organizing, a victory for working people, and justice for the 3 million impacted retirees nationwide and for the 130,000 who live in Massachusetts. And I look back and I'm proud of my vote to vote against the windfall elimination provision, against against that Republican effort at that time and against many Democrats at that time, and even against the Democratic Speaker of the House from my own home
Yeah.
state, because I knew I was voting for public servants and for their families. And so today is a big day, a culmination of decades of work, and hopefully, um, Resurrection Day has arrived. Hopefully, we will be able to finish it off.
Now, we appreciated your vote back then. Of course, I wasn't with the association in 1983. I was in middle school, but Mass Retirees was one of the very first groups across the country in 1983 to criticize the Social Security Fairness Act because it included WEP and GPO. It created WEP and GPO, and you took a courageous stand back then. As you said, Tip O'Neill was the Speaker of the House from Massachusetts. I can only imagine the pressure that was put on you to vote with the speaker. So, we thank you for your courage, and it's wonderful that you're able to bookend that vote, 41 years ago with voting, hopefully today, to finally repeal these laws. And, like I said at the outset, it's been a wonderful journey working with you. I've personally been involved in this issue now for 29 years.
Wow.
I remember meeting with you, Senator, back in 1995, the first time I went to DC on the issue. And there seemed, many years like Mass Retirees and only a handful of other organizations were really focused on this. So to get to the point we're at today is very exciting. And I have one final question. I know you need to get to your caucus, but a lot of our members, in listening to the debate yesterday, were quite honestly offended by some of the remarks from some of the Republicans on the floor, indicating that this is somehow a windfall and it's undeserved. And it's really insulting to our members and the retirees across the country who have paid into Social Security, earned their benefit, and are being wrongly denied of that benefit. It's really a slap in the face to our folks.
Well, I agree with you 100%. You're exactly right. Major corporations hiking up prices on the American people while paying effectively no federal taxes. That's a windfall.
Yep.
Private equity cronies like Ralph Ilatori looting the Steward healthcare system, the Catholic healthcare hospitals of Massachusetts, making millions off of the backs of workers while laying them off and gutting their pensions and harming their communities. That's a windfall. But make no mistake, allowing a third grade teacher, a town firefighter, a policeman, a postal worker, a school secretary, a food service worker, and a public cafeteria, the list goes on, to receive their hard earned retirement benefits. It's not a windfall. That's just something they earned. And they should be able to get benefit from it. And we're going to try to deliver that. And I'm committed to doing it. I'm very proud of my vote to not ever have this provision be on the books. And I'm going to be even prouder now to remove that restriction and to make sure that everyone gets every hard-earned dollar that they deserve. So hopefully we'll finish it today, but our goal is to not leave until it is completed. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Shawn, and thanks to all of the retirees who are out there.
Thank you, Senator. And I deeply appreciate, your decades-long commitment to this issue. And I appreciate the work that your staff continues to put in and the partnership of working with our association. It means so much to us. Good luck over the next few days, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and your family.
And same to you, and same to everyone who is watching and listening. Thank you.
Thank you,
We'll try
Senator.
to get the job done. Thank you.
Look forward to it.